today, being that we have all been gathered, we are gathering here with Hashem for the Zechut and Refuah Shelema of Kol Cholei Israel, Bichlalam LeRuchama Sarah Miriam Bat Tamar. And it's sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu, only because of difficulties, causes the Jews to come together. And the idea is that once we are together, we are supposed to come up with ways to be able to take away the gezerah. You know, that's the Chachamim tell us, Bechesed ve'emet yechu paramon, that through Chesed and Emet, ein Emet ela Torah, that the Zechut of Torah and Chesed that the Jews do together, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes away the gezerot. So being that we are gathered here together to be able to hear Besorot Tovot from Am Yisrael, and Baruch Hashem, Rabbi Fisher Shechter has accepted our invitation. Just want to tell you briefly, and I would like to ask, first of all, anybody who has cell phone, they should really put it either on silence. And as I was mentioning, Rabbi Fisher Shechter has been here many times. Baruch Hashem is a Magid Shiur in Yeshiva Torah Vadat, besides the Daf Yomi that he has taught, and other classes and lectures. We would like to request again all the individuals who are here, try to cooperate, that we should be able to gain the maximum for the Hatzlacha of Am Yisrael, and especially we should hear Besorot Tovot from Ruchama Sarah Miriam Bat Tamar. Bechavod Harav.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Cohen. Thank you very much. All you wonderful kinderlach, all your children today that are here, this is such a Kiddush Hashem. Just think, in heaven, in Shemayim, what Hashem is saying now to the angels, to the Malachim. Today, beautiful weather outside, little hot. You found my way over here driving, full of traffic. Everyone is going to beaches, everyone is going to ball games, everyone is lining up at the airport. I don't know where they're going. Everyone has to get out to spring fever. And where does Am Yisrael come? We come into the Beit HaKnesset, we get together, and we want to daven together. Mi ki amcha Yisrael. You know, there once was a man, he was very angry. All of his life, he was very angry. Whenever someone tried to talk to him, his answer was, "What do you want?" Whatever they tried to do for him, he came into shul, close the window. Okay. Open the window. Close the window. Make up your mind. Don't talk to me that way. Why are you not talking to me? Can't satisfy him. Wherever he went, he was grouchy and grumpy and what they call a little crabby. And he was just angry. He was angry at the whole world. He was angry at his tati, and angry at his mommy, and angry at his teacher, and angry at his rebbe, and he was angry at everybody. And you know what happens when you do that? You get more and more angry. Because you see, the Al-Shech HaKadosh, he tells us that when a person tries to be happy, and you say to Hashem, thank you, Hashem says, oh, you're trying to be happy? I'll make you even more happy. And when a person walks around and he keeps trying to be angry, you know what Hashem says? I'll give you reason to be more angry. Where a person wants to, you tell me what you want. You want to be happy, I'll give you reasons to be happy. You want to be angry, I'll give you reasons to be angry. So let's call this man's friend Gimple. Is anyone here named Gimple? Oh, that's very good. This way we don't have to worry that someone shouldn't be embarrassed and think I meant them. Your name is Gimple? No. Oh, Baruch Hashem. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nהיה b'dvaro. Okay. So Gimple is walking back and forth and he's so angry. He goes, why so hot outside? Why? Why? Why so many children on the street? Why so much dirt on the floor? Why nothing goes my way? Gimple. What? Gimple, please don't scream. Not screaming. Gimple, calm down. Please don't get angry. Not angry. Can you please calm down and not scream and not jumping down and not get angry? I'm not screaming, I'm not jumping, and I'm not angry. I understand you. You know, I heard that on the other side of the forest, on the dark side of the forest, there is something called, there's a malach that came down from Shemayim, an angel. He's called the Sar HaMazel. He is the malach that is in charge of everyone's mazel, everyone's luck. Why don't you go ask him why you have such bad luck? Really? The other side of the forest is someone who is in charge of all the luck. I want to go ask him why I have such bad luck. And he starts walking, and he is so angry, and he's walking in the forest, and he's angry. Ow, ooh, ow. Every time a thorn goes near him, he's angry, and a tree bumps into him, he's angry, and he's getting angrier and angrier by the minute. And then from the distance, he sees laying on the floor, something is moving. What? What is that? You. Who are you? I'm a lion. I'm a very sick lion. What do you want from me? Go to lion hospital. No, listen to me. Since when do lions talk? In a mashal, they talk. Can you listen to me? What? My name is Aryeh. I'm a lion. I heard already you're a sick lion. What do you want from me? I heard you're going to the Sar HaMazel. You're such a yenta. How you know where I'm going? Please, can you ask the Sar HaMazel, the minister of luck? Can you ask him why I am suffering so much, why I'm so sick? Listen here, you sick lion. I am sick and tired of doing things for someone else. All my life I'm only doing things for someone else, and now once and for all, no more doing for someone else. Once and for all, right now, I do for myself only. Do you understand? Don't have to scream. I told you I'm not screaming. I told you not screaming. And he walks away. The lions make me angry. And he's walking. The lions make him angry, and this makes him angry. And finally he's so tired. And he leans against a tree. And as he leans against the tree, the whole tree starts to shake back and forth. Whoa, whoa. And a bunch of coconuts come crashing down on his head. Ouch! Oh! Ow! Oh! Ow! He turns around and he starts screaming at the tree. Look what you did to my hat! You turned it into a pancake! Well, tree, you tree! The tree says, calm down. Stop screaming. I'm not screaming! I know you're not screaming. I want to tell you something. I am supposed to be a very big, strong tree with a lot of branches. And look, I am so sick. I'm swaying back and forth in the wind. I could hardly move. My roots are so weak. My heart, the tree has a heart that is so weak. I heard that you are going to the Sar HaMazel, the minister of luck. How do you know where I'm going? We trees, we know things. You heard it from that sick lion, right? Listen, it doesn't make a difference. Can you please ask the tree, ask the Sar HaMazel, why I'm such a sick tree? Listen here, tree. I am going to tell you the same thing I told that lion. I am sick and tired of helping someone else. All my life I helped someone else. Now I live only for me, and I and me. Do you understand? Goodbye. And he walks away. And he walks away, charges away. And then he sees a girl crying, all alone in the forest. He sees a girl crying. She says, you want to know? You want to know why I'm crying? No. Do you want to know why I'm all alone over here in the forest? No, I couldn't care less. Don't you want to help me? No. But please let me tell you my story. Oh, what do you want from me? I am a princess. You're a princess? So what are you doing here in the middle of the forest? Listen to me, I am a princess. And my father, I don't know why, but one day he kind of decided that he doesn't like me so much. And my father banished me from the palace, and he threw me into this forest. Good, if I was your father, I would do the same thing. That's not nice. I'm not a nice person. I heard that you're going to the Sar Hamazel. Punchov, how do you know? All the lions and all the trees and the maidens, they talk to each other over here. Goodbye. No, wait. Can you please ask the Sar Hamazel? Can you ask the Minister of Luck why I am suffering so much? Why my father doesn't like me? Why instead of being a princess in my father's castle, I am here all alone in the woods? Yeah, I also want to know why you're not here. I wish you were in your father's castle, not bother me. Please don't scream. I am sick and tired of helping other people. Do you understand? I am only here to help myself. Goodbye. And he walks off, and finally he comes and he arrives by the Malach, who is the Sar Hamazel. And he says, my whole life nothing, my whole life I suffer, my whole life this, my whole life that, I'm angry at my father, I'm angry at my mother, I'm angry at my teacher, I'm angry at Rebbe, I'm angry at my aunt, I'm angry at my second cousin twice removed, I'm angry at my neighbor, I'm angry at my bus driver, I'm angry at my... What do you want from me? Can you please tell me why I have such a bad mazel? No. What do you mean no? What no means? It means the opposite of yes. I know what no means. So why you ask? You get me angry. I don't tell anybody about why they have a bad mazel. Do you understand? I can only tell you about others, but I can't tell you about yourself. Oh, I'll tell you about the lion. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I'll tell you about the maiden. I don't want to hear. I'll tell you about the tree. I don't want to hear. Scream all that on nothing. And as angry as he was on the way going, he was even more angry on the way back. And he marches through and there's steam coming out of his ears. He is so upset. He is so angry. He is furious. He is so hurt. And then he meets the maiden. She says, what did the Sar Hamazel say about me? Leave me alone. What did he say? Please tell me. Oh, you want to know? The Sar Hamazel said that your mazel is that on the day you get married, you know what's going to happen? No, what? Then your father is going to find, you're going to find favor in your father's eyes, and once again he is going to take you back. Do you understand? He's going to take you back. And you and your new husband are going to be the crown prince and princess and heir to the throne, and you're going to be rich the rest of your life. She goes, oh, then quickly, will you marry me? No! I'm not here to help you. I want to help myself. I came all this way to help you? No way. No way. But you don't understand. I understand very well. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And he walks off. Chutzpah she has. No way. I didn't walk all over here to help someone else. I walked only over here to help myself. That's all. And he starts walking on his way back. And on the way back, he said, this better not be that tree. Well, I think this is that tree. I'll go to a different tree. No, I'll go to a different tree. Oh, I recognize the tree. This is not that tree. And he leans back on that tree, and all of a sudden, boom, it starts shaking, and he looks up, and there they go, all the coconuts again. Oh, he turns around, he's screaming, and the tree says, what did the Sar Hamazel say about me? You know what he said? He said, many years ago, a man came, and they hid a treasure deep, deep down where your roots are. And because the treasure is there, it has millions of dollars of gold and diamonds, so your roots are tangled into the box. And therefore, you're swaying back and forth. And the tree lifts up its branches and it says, please, please, grab a shovel. Take the treasure. Take it home with you. If you take home the treasure, you're going to be rich forever after. And I am going to be healed. I am going to be strong. Oh no! I didn't come to help you. I didn't come all this way to help some tree. I'm not taking home that treasure. You're not going to make me take home that treasure. No way! And he walks away. Aha! I'm smart. See? I'm not letting people take advantage of me anymore. No. I'm not marrying that maiden. I'm not taking the treasure. And then he continues to walk until he once again comes to the lion. And the lion says, what did the Sar HaMazel say about me? You know what the Sar HaMazel said? That your cure is to eat someone up. To eat up a person. That Hashem gives him opportunities and opportunities to help himself and to save himself and others. But he just gets more and more angry instead of seeing how Hashem is helping him. Your cure is to eat up such a person. And you know what the lion did? The lion ate him. Now, of course, this is just a mashal. How do we know the story? Maybe we heard it from the lion. I don't know. But although the story is just a mashal, it is very real. You know, I know such people. I can't tell you their name because it would be Lashon Hara. But Hashem gives us opportunities every day in our life to get treasures, to win, to be able to get a brand new happy life. And sometimes we're so busy getting angry at everyone that we don't realize Hashem's gift and we walk away from it. You know, I'm going to tell you a story that maybe some of you heard from me, but I want to bring this out. I, Baruch Hashem, with my car, you can perform a very special mitzvah with my car. You know what the mitzvah is? Stand up for someone who's very old. Baruch Hashem. So one day, I was in my car, and it was a Friday afternoon. And it was time, my son was getting married that Shabbat, and my wife gave me a long list like this. You better please get all these things done before Shabbat. And I'm in Borough Park traffic, I'm driving, and I go into one store, the cleaners, and I pick up my stuff, and I run into the car. And as I get into the car, and I start the engine, and something very strange happens. I put my foot down, and there's no gas pedal. I said, what? This doesn't make any sense. These things happen to you in a dream, but this really happened to me. So I begin to look around, and I find the gas pedal all the way on the other side of the car. I said, what? I called up my mechanic. I said, Tibor, can you help me? This is Rabbi Schechter. I just lost my gas pedal. He waits a few minutes and he says, why this only happened to you? So don't ask me philosophical questions, okay? You're supposed to be my mechanic. What should I do? He says, so come over. I say, you chacham from the Manishtana, how can I come over if I don't have a gas pedal to press? So he said to me, you know that if you put the car into drive, it moves. And so you have to be very careful. You should never chas v'shalom play around with your father's car. So I put the car into drive, and it moves. But you know how fast it moves? It moves about a mile an hour. Now I know in Great Neck, everyone has a lot of derech eretz for each other, even if you go very slow. But you know, in New York, when you drive a little slow, the people behind you, they're not always so patient. And especially on a Friday afternoon. And a short Shabbat. When Shabbat is like 2 hours later, it's 2 o'clock and Shabbat is 4 o'clock. So I am driving along, and behind me I hear beep, beep, people screaming, waving their hands, and I'm like, what should I do? It doesn't go any faster. So I rolled down my window, and I held out the gas pedal for them to see. You see, I have nothing to press. What do you want? Not my fault. And I keep going, and the car's behind, beep, beep, beep. And then I turned down one block, and I realized, uh-oh, this is a mistake. because on this block there was a school, and therefore on the street they put in a speed bump. So my car, I don't have a gas pedal, so it goes a little bit. Because even when there's no gas, some gas is going into the engine. So it goes up the speed bump, and when I come rolling back down, and it goes back up and it comes rolling down. And I have no way, I'm banging my foot on the floor, but I know that that's an exercise in futility because there's no way that the car can get over. And I'm like, my car's behind me, beep, beep. I say, Rabbanu Shalom, please help me. You're the only one that could have thought of this. Even I have a big imagination, but I couldn't have thought of this story. So I realized that on the side of the speed bump, it doesn't go up so hard. So I pulled over to the side of the speed bump, and slowly I was able to roll over, and I kept on going. Every once in a while I pulled by, and people were driving by, and they were making all kinds of gestures, and I was showing my gas pedal, what do you want from me? And then finally I came to the corner of where my mechanic is. He's a block away. And over there in Borough Park, there's a mountain. The mountain goes up, 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 just this block. And you know where the mountain starts? I never knew where the mountain starts, but now I know where it starts. Right in the middle of the intersection. Because in the middle of the intersection, suddenly, it's not going up anymore. And this was one of the busiest intersections in Borough Park. There's a Muncie bus, the Lakewood bus, the Monroe bus, everyone, they were all there. Everyone, beep, 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 garbage trucks, it's Shabbos, it's almost Shabbos, what's with you? And I'm like, why don't you let him help? And then in my rearview mirror, I see the way a truck pulls up, and out comes a Hasidic fellow. He's also obviously in a rush to finish his deliveries and to get home. And he comes walking over to me, he goes, what's the matter with you? You can't press your gas pedal? I give it to him, I say, here, you press it. He looks at me, he says, he already figures out who he's dealing with. And a bunch of people are beeping behind him. And he turns to them, and he begins to yell. And I remember today what he said. He said to them, why are you honking your horn? They said, because it's right before Shabbos. Why is he just sitting there? They said, stop honking, get out, and push. So about 10 people got out, and they started pushing me from behind. And they were pushing me up the road. And meanwhile, my mechanic, he's getting nervous because he wants to close for Shabbat. And he's saying, where are you? Where are you already? And he says, you see me coming. He's standing outside with his phone. He says, I see you coming. You're driving very fast. What's the problem? I pull in, he sees 10 people pushing from behind. Okay, I thank them. They walk away. And he looks real quickly. And my mechanic tells me that a cable snapped. And then it's going to cost $150 to fix. And I'm like all shaken up from everything that happened. And I'm like, oh. And he looks at me and says, he thought that I was complaining about the price. So he looks at me and says, come on, $150, not so much money. I said, it's not the price. I just realized something. You know, after what I just went through, I'm not saying it was the most scariest thing in the world, but it was pretty uncomfortable. I realized, looking into my rearview mirror, that there are two different kinds of people on this world. There are some people that when someone is going a little bit slow in front of you, and slow doesn't just mean a car. Slow could mean someone needs help with their homework. Slow means maybe someone doesn't play ball so very good, so he doesn't get choosed into games. Slow could mean maybe someone is a very nice girl or boy, but they just sit on the bench by recess, they're a little shy and they have no one to talk to. Slow could mean that, let's say, that boy or girl have no one to walk home with. They're all alone, even though there are other neighbors on the block. But somehow they never got into the clique. And sometimes this person who is moving a little bit slow is in front of you. And you know what I just realized? That there are two kinds of people. There are those when someone is in your way, they go, beep! And beep doesn't have to be honk with the horn. Beep could be in many different ways. And there are other people that they get out and they say, let me help you. Let me push you along. And you know something? I told my mechanic, and I think it's true. When we come up to Shemayim, after 120 years, Hashem is going to ask us many questions. But I think the first question Hashem is going to ask is, What kind of a person were you? Were you the kind of person that beeped? Your friends should get out of the way, you have no time for them? Or were you the type of person that got out and said, come, let's go together. Let's push. And now I want to share with you a more serious story. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, his wife was not well. And she was in the hospital. And she was in a hospital that was near the water. And every time the doctor came in, there was a frown on his face. And he said, I don't know. And everybody was very sad. And the kinderlich at home, they really missed their mommy. And their tati was with the mother. And no one knew what tomorrow was going to be. Then all of a sudden, she looked out the window from her hospital room. You know what she saw? It was the day of hurricane. What was the name of that Rebbitzin? Right? Sandy, right. And all of a sudden, boom, she saw huge waves. Hey, what's going to be? And suddenly, all the lights in the hospital went out. It became pitch dark. And it was very scary because a lot of the patients were connected to machines that give them medicine or machines that keep them alive. A few seconds later, the lights blinked a few times and emergency generators went on. And right away, over the loudspeaker, they heard a very scary announcement. Attention all staff, emergency evacuation procedures should commence immediately. Everybody started running back and forth. And they ran in. And a bunch of committed doctors and nurses and guards and security people and volunteers and policemen and firemen came running in. And they slowly started carrying the beds of the patient downstairs. And they told everyone that they had to transfer them to different hospitals because this building was in danger of being swept away by the water. And they couldn't use the elevators because they were very frightened and scared that the electricity would go out in the middle. Can you imagine what it was like? Hundreds of patients in almost dark hallways, some very sick that were being carried down on their beds, one after the other. And my friend's wife was also being carried down. And as she was being carried down, there was a lot of traffic. They had to wait. And she called over her husband. And her husband was shaking. He went over to her and said, what? She said, I hear a lot of the patients are asking a question. You know what they're asking? They're saying, I'm suffering so much. And now this? And now this has to happen to me too? I want to ask you one favor. This mommy said to my friend, don't ask Hashem this question, and now this. Because if this is what is supposed to happen, then this is what Hashem wants. She said, I promise, I won't ask. They took her down, and they transferred her to a hospital that was very far away. And in this hospital, there were no shuls nearby, and no from people nearby. There was no Bikur Chaylim. And he was there on Shabbat, and it was very hard for him. And he kept saying to the doctor, when can we transfer to a closer hospital? He said, as soon as there's a bed, what can I do? And he was already there 6 weeks. For 6 Shabbats. He was there all alone with his wife. And one morning, Shabbat morning, my friend told me the story. He said to his wife, Rachel, do you mind? Do I mind what? I didn't daven b'tzibur. I didn't daven with a minyan for the last 6 weeks Shabbat morning. Can I walk to a shul? But there's no shul in this neighborhood. But I found out, and I looked at a map, I can walk for an hour and a half, and I'll get to a shul. You want to walk for an hour and a half? Yes. An hour and a half? Yes. Okay. But it's 7:30. I guess I'll get to the shul at 9, even though it's a very hot day outside. And I guess I'll finish davening around 11, and I hope to be back by 12:30. But please come back right away. he put on his talus, and he took off his watch because he did not want to carry, and he ran down 8 flights of stairs. When he got to the bottom, he went to the main lobby and he realized, there were electric doors with an electric eye. It doesn't open manually. Is there any other way to get out? Because it's Shabbat morning. They said, you could try the side stairways. So he ran into one of the stairways and he ran downstairs. When he got to the bottom of the stairs, he saw a sign that said, if you push the exit button, an alarm is going to go on. Again, it's Shabbat. He turned around, he ran upstairs. He said, is there another stairway? Yes, stairway B. Okay, stairway Baruch. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Is there another stairway? No. Stairway C. Okay, stairway Chaim. Boom, same alarm. Is there another stairway? Stairway D. Stairway Dustcap. That's who I am. I feel like he ran down the stairs. Again, an alarm. He said, is there any other stairway out of the hospital? They said, there's one more. It's all the way in the back of the hospital. In the back of the hospital? Yes. Okay. There were empty offices, and he ran down that stairway, and once again, the door was locked, and he could not get out. Same alarm. But this time he turned around, he ran upstairs, and he wanted to get back into the hallway, and he realized, you know what happened now? The door locked behind him. He was trapped in the stairway. And you know what he wanted to ask? He wanted to say, Hashem, I went through so much the last 6 weeks. And he wanted to say, now I'm trapped in a stairway because I wanted to go daven on Shabbat morning. And he wanted to say, and now. But he stopped. You know why he stopped? Because his wife said to him, don't ask, and now this. He said, he sat down on the stairs and he began to think. He says, I don't know what to do. He walked downstairs. It wasn't such a good neighborhood. Maybe some of the streets will hear me banging. Some of the people on the street will hear me banging. He started to bang, bang, bang. You know what he did? He banged 72 times. Because that is the gematria of chesed. The equivalent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60, 70, 72. But it looks like the people on the street, they don't know Kabbalah. They don't know that that's gematria chesed. Because they didn't answer him. So he said, you know what? I may as well be mitpalel. I should daven. And he put on his talit. And he started to daven. Do you know what he told me? He davened like he never davened before his entire life. And until now, of course he davened. Of course he was mitpalel. Of course he prayed. But he never prayed this way. Because he felt he was all alone. That Hashem wanted him to be all alone between him and Hashem. And he cried when he said Nishma. He said, Nishma kol chai tivarech. He said, Hashem, I love you. I'm not asking why this. I'm not asking why my wife is not well. I am not asking why there was a hurricane. I'm not asking why I am trapped in a stairway. You want me to daven? You want me to pray to you here? I pray to you here. He cried his heart out. And then when he came to the Shabbat prayer, and he said, he said, Hashem, all I ask you is one thing. It is your Shabbat. And you gave me my children and my family. And all I am asking is one thing. I should be able to be home. Shabbat with my children. That's all. I'm not asking why this. My wife said I shouldn't ask. I'm not asking. Just help me. When he finished, his talit was soaked with tears. He looked around from sweat and tears. There was like a puddle around him. He never yelled so loud. He never spoke so tough and with so much love and with so much meaning to Hashem. He walked to the front door. He didn't know what time it was because he had no watch. But he estimated that it must have been around maybe 12, 11:30. He knocks on the door. A man comes by. You stuck over there? Yes, yes. Why don't you open the door? It's stuck. You should tell him Shabbat. Why don't you use your cell phone? Wait, the battery's dead. He goes, all right, what should I do? He says, call the guard. By the way, he says to him, what time is it? It's 2:30. 2:30. He didn't realize when he was praying, how deep he was engrossed in his prayer. And the guard came running, they opened up the door for him, but now he had to run up 8 flights of stairs. How many flights so far? Halfway up the first. Oh, boom, boom. And finally, by the time he got up, he looked at the clock. It was 3:30. He went into the room. He sat down to catch his breath. He was drenched. He looked like he just came out of the shower. And slowly he went into his wife's room. And he saw his wife sitting over there with the Tehillim. And she was crying. And tears were coming down her eyes. Where were you? He said, I want to ask you one thing. Tell me what happened. He said to his wife, I didn't want to hurt you. I know you didn't mean to hurt me, but I saw 12:30, you're not coming back. 1 o'clock, you're not coming back. When did you start? When did you open the Tehillim? At 2:30, I opened the Tehillim. I said, Hashem, I am not asking why this, but all I am asking is, please at least bring my husband back. And I started to cry. 2:30, that's when the man heard me. Heard you from where? What did you cry? She said, all I said was, I said the words that say, Na v'mnuchatenu. Hashem, please. All I ask is for Menucha and Shabbat. Well, I'm not asking any questions. All I'm asking is to be home on Shabbat. And together they sat down and they cried together. They said the tefillah. You know what my friend told me? That from that week until that day, every time the doctor came in and he would look at test results, he made a very sad face. And from that day and on, every time the doctor came in and he would look at test results, he would say, you know, it's getting much better. Getting much better. And you know something else this man told me? That since then, since that story, he and his wife and his children were home together every Shabbat because his wife is getting better and better. Do you know that there are times in our life that we can get very frustrated, scared, frightened? We can sit back and get angry. Or we can say, Hashem, I am not asking why. Tell me what to do. And Hashem wants us to do 2 things. Hashem wants us to learn Torah. That's for the boys. Hashem wants all of us to daven for each other. And Hashem wants all of us to do chesed. Olam chesed yibaneh. Does anyone know what that means? What does that mean? Olam chesed yibaneh. Yes. We build the world of chesed. That means even though the schutim, the merits were not there, through chesed that we do for each other, we build new worlds that did not exist. Now you know we all came here together to pray for the recovery, for the refuah shelaima, for the Chama Sarah Miriam Bat Tamar b'toch Sharei Cholei Yisrael. And B'ezrat Hashem, she should have, in the schut of all the wonderful people that came here, a refuah shelaima. But you know, Hashem says, it's in your hands. I gave this world in your hands. And what we thought that maybe we can all accept upon ourselves is that every single day, before you go to sleep, do you brush your teeth? Yeah? Yeah? Who puts negel bas? Who puts water by their bed? Okay? Who says Shema? So now we're going to do one more thing. In addition to all these mitzvot, we're going to stop and think. Did I do a chesed today for someone else? Did I beep? And you know, some people think chesed is only for someone down the block. Chesed is for your little brother, little sister also. When your little brother is crying, nobody's looking for me. He's such a nudge. He doesn't leave us alone. He's only 5 years old. Why does he think he can play with the 10-year-olds? And your mother's in the kitchen. Instead of beep, get him out of the way. You say, don't worry, mommy, we'll play with him. We'll make him happy. That is also chesed. Chesed is in your house. Chesed is with your friends. And we're all going to keep a little notebook. And in our notebook, we're going to write what chesed we did. What little thing we did today where we got out to push instead of beat. And now together, we're going to say Tehillim, pasuk by pasuk, okay? I'm going to say it in my Ashkenazi Ivra because that's what I'm used to. And you will say it in your own way. The main thing is that we say it together because our hearts are on the same page. And please try to have in mind Rechama Sarah Miriam Bat Tamar B'toch Sharei Cholei Yisrael.
Add another name or somebody's
Sapir, Tzipora, Chaya, Bat Chana Anat. Shir Lamalois Esa Einai El Harim Me'ayin Yavai Ezri. Say it together. You know what this means, Eloharim? Aharim means our avot that daven with us. Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov daven with us. And there are times we say, Hashem, where is my help going to come from? We will do chesed down here in this world. Avraham says, that's my children doing chesed. They learned that from me. Hashem, help them. Hashem says to Avraham, no. You're up here in Olam Haba. No. My children are doing chesed. That's what I did. Help them. Let's say this pasuk together and have in mind that Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov should daven together for the recovery of Rechama Sarah Miriam Bat Tamar. Again. Shir Lamalais Esa Einai El Harim Me'ayin Yavai Ezri Ezri Me'im Adonai I say Shamayim V'aretz. Hashem, you created heaven and earth. You create Nusichutim. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. We will try to do ours and you do yours. Al Yitein Lamoit Raglecha Al Yanu Meshayim Recha Hinei la yanum v'la yishan Shaimer Yisrael Adonai Shaimerecha Adonai tzilcha al yad yiminecha. Who knows what the word sail means? The word sail means a shadow. What does a shadow do? Shadow mimics who you are. Hashem tzilcha. Hashem says, you have to understand, if you do chesed for each other, I can do chesed for you. Yomam Hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach ba'alayla Adonai yishmarcha mikal ra Yishmar es nafshecha Adonai yishmar tzeischa ivayecha Me'ata b'yad aylam. You know, one of the things the Yetzer Hara likes to do to us is, I'll never be able to learn. I never understood the Gemara. I never was good in class. I'm not going to start being good now. Me'ata b'yad olam. I start from now. Shir hamalais. You know what it means, Mimamakim Kirasicha Hashem? The Gemara tells us that David HaMelech was digging to build the foundations of the Beis HaMikdash, and you know what happened? He uncovered a little paper. He said, what's this? He lifted, and it said, don't lift me, don't lift me. A paper's talking to a king? No, be a good paper. And he picked it up, and the water started flooding the world. And David was very frightened. And at that moment, he cried out to Hashem. But David, when he was frightened, he never cried for himself. He said, ooh, good, I'm frightened. I'm stuck in a stairway. Now I can pray. Now I have a koach hatfilah. And he prayed for us. In the Sefer Tehillim, David HaMelech saw with his Ruach HaKodesh, with his divine inspiration, he saw every single person sitting there. And he wrote his words for us. We are connecting with him. Shir hamalais Mimamakim Kirasicha Adonai Adonai Shema V'Kaili Tiyena Aznecha Kashuvayis L'Kal Tachnunai Im Avoinais Tishmarya Adainai Miyamai Ki Imachas Lecha Leman Tivarei Kivisi Adinai Kivisa Nafshi Lidvarai Haichalti Nafshi Ladainai Mishaimrim Labaike Shaimrim Labaike. Okay, the last two Pesukim, let us try to say it with all of our heart. Last three. Yachel Yisrael El Adainai Kiyem Adainai Achesed V'harbei Imai Fidus. You know, and let us try to think. Let us try to think that all the little Yiddish kinderlach that are in hospitals, the tatis, the mothers, let's say to ourselves, Hashem, please help them. We should all be home together on Shabbat. V'hu yivdes Yisrael Mihikar Labainai Sav. And I want to thank you so much, Kinderlach. And I know that everyone has been moved. I was very moved. And Be'ezrat Hashem, hopefully we will get together for Sudat Haidah, for Refuah and Yeshua.